Truthseekers is a viewer-supported show. Wonderful people like you who enjoy this show send pledges in the form of super chats, super stickers, super thanks, PayPal or Cash App. Instructions for how to help are in the description. You can also join our Patreon, and for as little as $1 a month you can get extra content. Patreon supporters get a backstage pass, early access to all our production videos before they are distributed publicly, Stephen Campion's music, private writings, a monthly show journal, and more. You can also become a YouTube channel member for $5 a month. A YouTube membership includes all of the Patreon benefits, plus a special members badge, priority reply to video comments, and the live chat, plus a monthly members only video. We thank you all, kind and generous benefactors, for supporting Truthseekers. Thank you for your generosity and support. Truthseekers is a viewer-supported show. Now there's a great way to support these broadcasts and show your support. Please be sure and check out our merchandise store. Links to our 2 merchandise online stores are in the links to this video or podcast. The Amazon storefront ships super quickly in the United States, Great Britain, and in many more places. Amazon may not ship to your country or location. If that's the case, hit our second merchandise link in the description and visit our Redbubble storefront. Merchandise from our Redbubble storefront ships worldwide, but may take longer than Amazon. We've got a great deal of super high quality merchandise for you to choose from, including t-shirts, phone cases, sweatshirts, and even pillows. The feedback from our products have been overwhelmingly great. Quality products and fast shipping. People all over the world are buying some merchandise and showing their support of the show. Praise the cash! Praise the cash! Praise the cash! We thank you all, kind and generous benefactors, who are buying some merchandise and helping us to continue this journey. Thanks for being here. This is Truthseekers with your host, Stephen Campion. Please rate, like and comment on our videos or podcasts. If you are listening to an audio podcast, please rate us 5 stars to help us rise in the search rankings. If you are watching on YouTube, please like, comment and subscribe to our channel. If you're listening to an audio podcast, we love and appreciate you listeners, but you are missing the live tapings. All our shows are recorded live with video feed. We'd love you to come be a part of our live broadcasts and tapings for the podcast. Head on over to YouTube, click the search tool, the little magnifying glass, put Truthseekers, one word in the search bar, and hit enter. You'll see a strange and mysterious guy with sunglasses. That means you found the channel. Go there, smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to receive up-to-date info on our YouTube channel. We welcome you to be a part of our live taping and our chat room during the live broadcasts. Seek the truth. Speak the truth. This is Truthseekers. Truthseekers. Truthseekers.
Greetings and salutations, friends, old friends, and hopefully some new friends. I am back. You may have noticed a particular absence for a few days. I was very busy since last, I don't know, since last Thursday or so. I have a great deal of work that I needed to do at the cabin to get it ready for my family to spend the summer there, and so I was busily doing that. Almost did a show a few times, but thought it best if I just wait to get back to civilization. And also, I really, after doing a 12-hour day, was feeling a little bit too drained to do anything else other than drink beer and fall over, which is my usual go-to when I have to put in a hard day's work. That is what it is. So tonight, I have a very special show, actually, a show that I have been thinking about and planning for quite some time, because it would appear that there are a great number of people that are out there scamming the public, uh, not just scamming the public with fake alien stories. Lots of people do that. But this set of people is particularly deplorable and particularly reprehensible because there are an actual group of people. They don't know each other, so maybe that's the wrong term. But there are several different people and parties that have been out there on the UFO circuit selling stories about aliens. And their so-called proof of these stories is actually human remains. In many of these cases, it gets quickly proven that the claims of aliens are completely and totally garbage, and that these are human remains, somewhat deformed human remains in some cases, but human remains nonetheless. So I thought it would be really a community service if we expose those people who are making these false claims about having alien bodies, when in fact, these people are essentially grave robbers. And they are attempting to profit from grave robbing, which, near as I can tell, in most civilized countries is illegal. But this happens still. Some of the famous cases of this are the Roswell slides, wherein a mummy from a museum was claimed to be part of the Roswell crash. That scam was headed by none other than Jaime Maussan. And Jaime Maussan is also involved in tonight's scam, the Peru mummies. Isn't it great to know that Jaime Maussan is not in prison after scamming, I don't know, tens of thousands of people out of a pay-per-view event that cost quite a lot of money, as I recall. I think the pay-per-view was like $100. Later, it gets proven that the slide was nothing to do with aliens. It was just a picture, a negative, a slide from a museum showing a child mummy. They claimed it was an alien. Did Jaime Maussan give any of that money back? Of course he didn't. And in fact, I believe that Jaime Maussan learned that if you really want to make a lot of money scamming people about aliens, you need to involve a corpse. Because his next and latest scam is tonight's subject, the Peru alien mummies. Now, you may have seen these very strange-looking mummies with big heads, right? Strange fingers and strange toes in strange positions. You may have seen x-rays. There is actually a documentary about this. And that documentary was put out by none other than Gaia. You know, the same company that brought us the great truth of Corey Goode and David Wilcock, right? And Emery Smith, you know, he autopsied 3,000 aliens. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He corrected himself. He examined 3,000 tissue samples of aliens. This is the quality of information that we get from Gaia. But somehow, some of these scams take hold of the collective consciousness, and people, even people that I know that are not the least bit into UFOs or aliens, I can't tell you, probably 100 different people messaged me about this story of these alien mummies in Peru. So we're going to cite fair use. I'm going to put up my fair use banner, and I'm going to share with you the trailer from the documentary. And interestingly, I have found that you can watch it for free, the entire documentary on YouTube with ads. But still, it's free to watch. But I can save you an hour and a half, because basically they show you these mummies and they make all kinds of fantastical claims and keep on over and over again claiming that they could not be human remains. They're just too different. They couldn't be human. But we'll get to the proof that they're human or something ordinary, not extraordinary, not alien, in a bit of time. First, let's put up our fair use banner. We're going to be sharing this. This is a transformative work. We're educating the public about the scam, fake alien Peru mummies, and we're critiquing the video we're sharing. And this, of course, is certainly covered under fair use and allowable by law. So now we have our fair use banner up. Let's look at the trailer to this documentary. I love the trailer. I'm sorry, but I love the trailer. It's like every hokey thing that you should do in a trailer for a documentary of fake alien shit that you want to sell. It's got it all, folks. It's got pyramids. It's got, you know, ancient stuff, right? It's got bad alien animations. It's just bad music, you know, that bad dramatic music. What if these are aliens? And I love it. We're not saying it's aliens, but they're aliens. You know, that dance that everybody does looks like these clowns are doing the same dance. Let's take a look at the trailer for this. It's called Alien Mummies of Peru. That's the name of the documentary. If you just Google, or I'm sorry, put in the YouTube search engine, Alien Mummies of Peru, you will find it. And let's take a look at this trailer. I look like from a video game. so melodramatic, right? Sounds good, right? Catches your interest. Boy, what are these things? Are these aliens? I love how they threw demons in too. Hey, these could be demons, right? No, no, friends, they're not demons. And they're certainly not aliens. And we're going to get to the proof of that. First of all, I think it's important that we backtrack a little bit. So these so-called alien mummies were discovered by a certain person in Peru and then taken to the likes of Jaime Maussan, who never, ever heard a good story about aliens that he could sell, even if it was fake, that he wouldn't accept. Jaime Maussan is a true believer. You could take him anything. This guy was behind, let's see, the Roswell slide hoax. He was also behind the marmoset monkey alien hoax. Did you know that? Jaime Maussan once claimed that a mummified marmoset monkey was an alien creature. Turns out DNA proved that was bullshit, and a primatologist looked at it and said, that's a marmoset monkey. Maybe you shaved it down or used some kind of hair remover on it, but that's a marmoset monkey. That is not an alien. Now, Jaime Maussan's latest scam is the most despicable yet, because it's one thing to use the body of a monkey and pretend it's an alien and make a lot of money fooling stupid people. And it's a whole nother ball game what happened here. Now, the person who is selling this literally sold some of these so-called alien Peru mummies. Turns out he's a known grave robber and scam artist. Maybe we should start right there, right? The originator of the story, the discoverer of these alien alien mummies of Peru, is actually a despicable character who is a grave and antiquities thief, well known to the Peruvian government. And we're going to see the proof of that. Friends, right there, the beginning of the story, sometimes these people succeed with these alien hoaxes and fake stories, not because they lie to you, but because they leave things out of the story that you probably want to know. And one of these things that you probably want to know about the alien Peru mummies is that the discoverer of these alien mummies is a well-known grave robber, antiquities thief, and is well known to the Peruvian government. He's a criminal. Why didn't they put that in the documentary? Why didn't they put that guy's rap sheet in the documentary? How many times that guy's been caught robbing graves? And apparently, like I said, in most civilized countries, stealing people's dead bodies or body parts is illegal. And apparently it's illegal in Peru as well. So somebody who's not an English speaker, and this video is odd because it shows somebody speaking, but then they dub over him. They like blank out the audio and they dub over him in English. It's a little strange to me, but the information is very, very good. And I verified it with one other source as being accurate. So we're going to cite fair use and we are going to share this. And this is called Who is Selling Alien Mummies in Peru? Excellent research here, and we are going to cite fair use and share that. Yeah, who is selling aliens? Nazca humanoid mummies, the big fraud. Yeah, what a fraud. This is quite a fraud. And I apologize, some of this is most of this is not in English, some of it is dubbed over, but we'll get the gist of the information. And I'm going to be citing fair use. We're educating the public about these fake Peruvian alien mummies. That is a scam and a con.
Con Leandro Benedicto Rivera. Adelante, por favor.
In this 2018 video, Mario, with his face covered, claims to have yet another mummy in his possession and goes on to offer it to a group of French journalists for a mere $100,000. So who is this Mario Leandro Benedicto Rivera Sarmiento? To find out, we'll have to do a little background research. This article from 2007 says that Alejandro Rivera Sarmiento, 34, was arrested by the Peruvian police in
Yeah, so he was involved in a series of criminal actions against innocent victims who visit upper-class residential districts in the Lake Pipes part of the city. One of these two individuals, a large number of counterfeit bills and fake gold were found that were used for fraud. So the person who discovered these so-called alien mummies was involved in a fake gold scam. And this has been verified. This is accurate information.
Puno, along with 10 other individuals. They were all accused of fraud involving fake.
Yeah, so this man is convicted, actually. He was convicted of this criminal act. He is a convicted fraudster. This is before he finds any of these alien bodies. He is a con man and a fraud artist. Maybe, just maybe, Jaime Maussan and Gaia TV should have shared that information, that the person who discovered these so-called alien mummies was previously a convicted con artist and fraudster before he found these so-called alien mummies.
Fake gold and counterfeit cash. And here's another article from 2010, which tells the story of the Peruvian police finding 4 boxes filled with
Yeah, heavy blow to the traders of the remains of pre-Incan cultures. In a lot of 4 boxes delivered from Nazca that arrived at the office of the logistics company Cruz del Sur in Puno, they found bone remains and relics that could belong to the Nazca culture. So not only is he a convicted con artist and fraud artist, but he is illegally dealing in possibly stolen antiquities from Nazca, which is also illegal. They left that part out of the documentary too.
human remains and ancient artifacts that were addressed to Benedicto Rivera Sarmiento, 37, who was later detained by the...
Yes, so it was established during the investigation that the relics were being delivered to a Puno address, Leonardo Benedicto Rivera San Mateo, 37, also known as Leah, a member of the gang Los Palipanos de Inca, who profited from desecrating artifacts belonging to pre-Spanish cultures. The individual was delivered to the police office after several hours of detainment, after the detainment operation.
A band of robbers was exposed who had been destroying archaeological sites of the pre-Columbian Nazca culture. Here is Mario himself on Facebook.
Yeah, so this is the guy who discovered these so-called alien mummies. A guy who, like, look at his criminal past. He's a convicted con artist.
Here is the page of Leandro Rivera Sarmiento. In 2011, this user added 45 photographs of artifacts belonging to the pre-Columbian cultures of Peru, as the captions say. On Leandro Rivera's friends list, we find foreign nationals who indicate on their pages collecting antiquities as a hobby.
Yeah, so basically this guy and his friends are robbing graves and selling the artifacts illegally to private antiquities dealers. That's where the story begins. The story begins with a known con artist and antiquities thief finding an alien mummy. Yeah, what are the odds, right? What are the odds that this guy found an alien mummy? Come on, friends. Right here. We don't even need to go any further. But we will, because in the documentary, these people make an astonishing number of ridiculous, factless claims. Like, there's no way these could be human because of the structure, and they're so different from humans. And, you know, the nasal cavities are nothing like a human's, and on and on and on. And, you know, pardon me if I've been to this rodeo before, but I've seen scams like this before. We've seen it with Dr. Stephen Greer, right? And the Atacama humanoid, which turned out to be a human fetus. We've been to this rodeo before, so I'm not interested in speculation. It's also interesting to note that the so-called scientist that they used to determine that these couldn't be human was some Russian crackpot scientist, not a real scientist, right? Not a real scientist whatsoever. So we can get to the proof that these things are absolutely not alien. And I'm going to share my screen once again. This is from an article, a Russian science article, actually. I had to have it translated here into English. But we're going to share that as proof that these so-called alien mummies they have nothing to do with aliens. And the truth of what they actually are is despicable. The fact that these people have done this is despicable. Okay. So the article is as many as 5 mummies of aliens from Peru. From the editor of anthropologist.ru, headlines about the mummies of aliens in Peru flashed in the news again. This time there were as many as 5 of them. And according to journalists, scientists have proven that the finds are not fake. In this regard, I must inform you that the experts of anthropologist.ru in early September had a chance to participate in the examination of the mysterious mummies. It began with the fact that the editorial office received a letter from a Russian scientist, doctor of technical services. You may have heard that several humanoid mummies were recently found in Peru. I happen to be involved in this work. So basically, this fake Russian scientist invited real anthropologists to look at these things. Alexei Bondrerev says, I was asked to comment on a number of x-rays of mummies of supposedly alien humanoids found or manufactured in Peru. In particular, it was necessary to check if there was any animal bones in the skeletons. I am limited in the analysis of images since I am not a radiologist, and the images of bones of an x-ray image differ significantly from plain images, photos, drawings, and three-dimensional images of natural objects. I rarely have to deal with x-rays, unlike the other options listed, since paleontological and astrozoological objects are naturally freed from soft tissues. For this reason, a number of conclusions are preliminary, but we can immediately say that the skeleton is a constructor assembled from dissimilar elements. So not only are these not aliens, essentially what they did is cobble together bones from both human remains and animal remains to make these fake alien mummies. Okay, brush. In the x-ray of the hand, metacarpus contains the radius bone, fragments of the diaphysis of the tubular bones, and the metacarpal bones on the hand turned upside down, and the fingers together with the phalanges. The metacarpal and metatarsal bones are mixed and in complete disarray and in arbitrary orientations. And this goes on and on. He explains how these fake mummies are put together. Each one of them is a artificially constructed construct. It's not a regular body that was just buried or mummified that somebody found. These are all constructed carnival gags. Some of you may be old enough to remember carnival attractions. I remember when I was a child, you go and you pay your 50 cents and you're supposed to see a bearded lady. And then when you look at the guy, it looks like a guy, it looks like a man in a dress. That's what it looked like to me. I don't know. But P.T. Barnum was very famous for these sort of attractions where he would create a fake, right? The Fiji mermaid being one of the most famous. The Fiji mermaid was made by taking a monkey and sewing the bottom of a fish to a monkey and then drying it out. That became the Fiji mermaid. These are Fiji mermaids. These are constructed fakes made out of fake human body, made out of some real human body parts and some animal parts and plaster. These are all fake. Radiocarbon analysis results concluded one of the scent forms is incomplete, but apparently this is not a human bone, but something else. The bone of a Wawata human who ate mainly corn, but also seafood, collagen preservation is good, is dated around 1300 to 1400 AD, end of pre-Columbian era. The Maria specimen is clearly older, circa 250 to 400 years. That's than Wawata's human bone. So in other words, the bones, the radiocarbon dating of the bones in one of these mummies don't match. Like the leg is from 1300 to 1400 years ago, and the another bone would have a completely different dating. Folks, that does not happen if this was a real intact body. These are artificial constructs. That's what they are. Conclusions. It's important to see the conclusions here. Most of the bones used, judging by the non-growing pineal glands, belong to children, some probably to cubs or animals of different ages. Conclusions. Mummies are fakes made from random bones by people ignorant of anatomy. Limitations of skeletons made from bone fragments that are practically undetectable from the images provided. Probably this was not done to obscure the tracks. It's just more convenient not to bother with joints. Just stick over the fragments with plaster. The resulting constructions are not functional in any way, and they belong to living beings. Skulls of dolls, not mummies, can be identified, but when considering peeled skulls. Wow. So basically, some dirtballs took human bones, children's bones, animals' bones, and glued these things together. And I just have to say that many people in conspiracy land fell for this scam, hook, line, and sinker. I got into quite a heated conversation with Jay Widener, who swears that these have to be real. And I said, have you seen this information? And by the way, the information that I just shared is just one source. I have some 4 different sources all saying that these are completely and totally fake. There is a channel that I'm aware of, Caitlin Dougherty. She runs a YouTube channel called Ask a Mortician. And she don't ask me why I know about her channel. I don't know. Call it morbid curiosity. But she talks about a lot of things related to death and corpses and things like that. She's an actual mortician. And I thought, who better to offer an opinion on whether these are fake or not than an actual mortician? So I am going to cite fair use once again. We're educating the public about these fake alien Nazca mummies. And this is her video titled Corpse Hoaxes, Aliens and Cadaver Factories. Interesting video. We're only interested in the part where she's talking about these Peruvian mummies because I think it's very relevant here. And remember, this is a mortician, someone who has seen hundreds and hundreds, thousands probably, maybe tens of thousands of human bodies and remains. She is more than qualified to look at this and offer her expert opinion about whether this is real or a fabricated bunch of nonsense. Okay, friends.
But not all hoaxes concerning the dead are completely devoid of some sort of grounding element, even if that element is horribly misrepresented. For decades, people have speculated that the Nazca lines in Peru are the work of aliens, a landing strip for ancient astronauts. So to back up this theory, those who study UFOs have claimed that pre-Columbian Peruvian mummies are proof of extraterrestrials. I'm not saying there are no aliens. I read that New York Times piece. I see what you're doing, government. But why those mummies? It's because of their elongated skulls, which...
Yeah, and Brian Forrester is another one of these. I'm hesitant to call him a scammer, but I think that he plays fast and loose with the facts. He keeps suggesting that these elongated skulls are alien or somewhat alien in nature, right? Maybe they were stranded aliens that took up residence here on Earth when their spaceship landed. And he has an incredible amount of speculation about what may be, but he offers zero evidence, zero proof that these are anything other than artificially elongated skulls. There was a practice where people would bind the skulls in order to get them to elongate. This was part of their culture. These are human beings, Brian Forrester. These are not aliens. And if they are, prove it, buddy. Prove it. He never will, but he's been selling this theory that these are aliens for years and years. Financing vacations down there, right? He goes down there and he hangs out and he sees the local museums with these things and puts YouTube videos up, all on somebody else's money. Because he's been claiming for years that these are aliens, but he will never show us the proof that they're actually aliens.
Are as a result of their craniums being bound and shaped as babies. This shaping was part of how their community identified and was part of the cultural's ideal physical aesthetic.
Yeah, let me just take that back. Yeah, so here we see an image of what one of these native people with the elongated skull actually looked like in real life. Looks like a lady with an unusually large head, but it doesn't look like an alien to me. Looks like a human being who, for one reason or another, decided to, cranially deform themselves for a given aesthetic that was popular in that culture.
Physical aesthetic. Unfortunately, the shape of their skulls also fit the mold of what an alien supposedly looks like. Since the Roswell UFO incident of 1947, many have tried to present indigenous Andean mummies as alien life forms. Most recently, a documentary series by the website Gaia.com titled Unearthing Nazca presents what appears to be a pre-Columbian child mummy as actually being an ancient Peruvian alien. With the characteristic elongated skull, the child mummy is huddled up with its arms wrapped around its legs. Its skin is an odd powdery white, and
Yes, and many experts have looked at these things and said that the skin being white, it's not skin, that's actually plaster used to glue together all of these separate human body part bones that they use to make this fake alien mummy.
its hands and feet only have 3 long digits each. It has no nose or ears, and the eyes seem heavy-lidded. They called the mummy Maria. Not only is this a hoax and racist, but it's a violation of Peruvian grave robbing and human remains trafficking laws. The head of vertebrate paleontology at Lima University of San Marcos, Rodolfo Salas Gismondi, believes that, judging from the X-rays shown on Unearthing Nazca and early photographs of the remains, Maria is a pre-Columbian mummy that was mutilated and altered in order to fit the description of an alien. The white powdery substance could be covering up evidence of alterations made to her body. And while it can't be proven that the team behind Unearthing Nazca committed these crimes, experts say crimes definitely were committed. But when considering corpse hoaxes, what's been called the master hoax of them all is the story of the German corpse.
And that's a story for another time, friends. So, here we have some of the world's leading experts weighing in and saying that these things are definitely not aliens. These are, some dirtball glued together a bunch of human remains, a bunch of human bones, and try to pass it off as an alien mummy. And I just wanted to say, that is really a reprehensible thing to do. Can we let people rest in peace, leave their bodies in the ground where they belong? I've never been a supporter of even ancient Egyptian mummies being put on display. To me, it seems very disrespectful. While I'm interested, and I've certainly been to the Natural History Museum in Philadelphia, which has several mummies on display, and watched them with great interest, I don't like it. I think that you should let human people, once they die, rest in peace and not be gawked at in a museum. That's my take. You're free to whatever beliefs that you have. However, the fact that somebody glued together a bunch of different human body parts, especially involving children, remember, first they got to go to a bunch of graves and steal a bunch of human bones, right? Then they got to sit around gluing them together. And who was involved in this? Gaia TV, this known fraudster scammer who's already been caught scamming the public with fake gold, then scamming antiquities dealers, well, maybe not scamming, but selling antiquities that he had no right to even own or, take from an archaeological site, selling them to antiquities dealers in Europe. Who else is involved? Jaime Maussan, who's been involved now in several hoaxes involving remains, dead bodies. And, come on, Jaime Maussan. How many times are you going to show us a dead body and tell us that it's an alien before we stop believing you? What is this, the third time? Like I said, we have the Roswell slides, we have the marmoset monkey, and now these mummies that are completely interpreted. How many hoaxes does Jaime Maussan get? But hey, let's give him another documentary on Netflix, right? Or I'm not sure if it's Netflix or Amazon Prime. He definitely has a documentary on Amazon Prime, right? You got to make good money having a documentary on Amazon Prime, I would imagine. At this is the top of the food chain. a guy who is so despicable, he would push alien mummies glued together by a bunch of children's bones and animal bones, plastered together, and he would sell that as a real alien, right? Great story, though, until you get to what actually happened, and the fact that somebody sat around gluing together a bunch of alien bones. Excuse me, alien bones. Somebody sat around gluing together a bunch of human bones and animal bones to make these things. So, was it Jaime Maussan? Was it the people at Gaia who profited? Gaia profited the most from this scam. They're still running ads on YouTube for you to buy a documentary or buy a membership to Gaia based on these Peruvian mummies of aliens that aren't aliens. Yeah. I don't know what else to say except that I'm glad that we can inform the public of the truth. We have, ample and supportive evidence that these things are faked alien mummies. They're not real. They're glued together, human bones, animal bones, mutilated human bones, misplaced human bones, plastered together. And I just got to say to people like Jay Weidner argued with me that I was wrong. Maybe the scientists are wrong. Okay, so Jay Weidner is going to argue with a real anthropologist, with a real forensic pathologist, and with a real mortician, who all weighed in with their expert opinions that these things were constructs, were frauds, were fakes. But Jay Weidner knows better than me and all those scientists, because he swears up and down, former Gaia employee, that they couldn't have been faked. We just heard how they were faked, Jay Weidner. And I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. You're busted here. You should stop telling people that these things are real. You're doing a disservice both to the people that you're lying to and to imagine, just think about, what is it, 4 or 5 different human bodies that had to be ripped apart and mutilated and glued back together. Think about the memory of those people. Think about their family, their ancestors, their descendants, and how they would feel knowing that their bodies were mutilated in order to sell an alien scam.
Truthseekers is a viewer-supported show. Wonderful people like you who enjoy this show send pledges in the form of super chats, super stickers, super thanks, PayPal, or Cash App. Instructions for how to help are in the description. You can also join our Patreon, and for as little as $1 a month you can get extra content. Patreon supporters get a backstage pass, early access to all our production videos before they are distributed publicly, Stephen Campion's music, private writings, a monthly show journal, and more. You can also become a YouTube channel member for $5 a month. A YouTube membership includes all of the Patreon benefits, plus a special members badge, priority reply to video comments, and the live chat, plus a monthly members only video. We thank you all, kind and generous benefactors, for supporting Truthseekers. Thank you for your generosity and support. Truthseekers is a viewer-supported show. Now there's a great way to support these broadcasts and show your support. Please be sure and check out our merchandise store. Links to our 2 merchandise online stores are in the links to this video or podcast. The Amazon storefront ships super quickly in the United States, Great Britain, and in many more places. Amazon may not ship to your country or location. If that's the case, hit our second merchandise link in the description and visit our Redbubble storefront. Merchandise from our Redbubble storefront ships worldwide, but may take longer than Amazon. We've got a great deal of super high quality merchandise for you to choose from, including t-shirts, phone cases, sweatshirts and even pillows. The feedback from our products have been overwhelmingly great. Quality products and fast shipping. People all over the world are buying some merchandise and showing their support of the show. Praise the cash! Praise the cash! Praise the cash! We thank you all, kind and generous benefactors who are buying some merchandise and helping us to continue this journey. Thanks for being here. This is Truthseekers with your host, Stephen Campion. Please rate, like and comment on our videos or podcasts. If you are listening to an audio podcast, please rate us 5 stars to help us rise in the search rankings. If you are watching on YouTube, please like, comment and subscribe to our channel. If you're listening to an audio podcast, we love and appreciate you listeners, but you are missing the live tapings. All our shows are recorded live with video feed. We'd love you to come be a part of our live broadcasts and tapings for the podcast. Head on over to YouTube, click the search tool, the little magnifying glass, put Truthseekers, one word in the search bar, and hit enter. You'll see a strange and mysterious guy with sunglasses. That means you found the channel. Go there, smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to receive up-to-date info on our YouTube channel. We welcome you to be a part of our live taping and our chat room during the live broadcasts. Seek the truth. Speak the truth. This is Truthseekers. Truthseekers.